Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $3.24. I just hope we continue upward from here. And we just entered a whole new phase in this cycle. Now it's Link versus XRP, Link versus QNT. The Bitcoin maxis are pissed off because people are buying Ethereum. Welcome to the next phase of FUD. But you know, you got to figure out what you're holding as an XRP investor. I still don't think people actually realize how big this cryptocurrency is gonna be. And look at Bitcoin, back to $119,737. I just want Bitcoin to go on that last major move upward before it comes crashing down. And I really hope a lot of retail Bitcoin investors make a lot of money. But I hope they're smart enough to shift that money into something that has a better return on investment. Unless you're holding a lot of Bitcoin, you are not going to get rich in this cycle. Most retail investors don't even hold one whole Bitcoin. You're better off shifting that money into something that can set you financially free. Who the hell is actually buying this? And you see Ethereum. The reason they don't want people buying Ethereum is because when Ethereum breaks out, that signals us heading into alt season. That signals the top coming in for Bitcoin as well. And they don't like the idea of that. Bill Morgan says, not this cycle. XRP will not overtake ETH. Charting Guy says, late last year and early this year, it looked like XRP was on track to flip ETH in market cap. I believe that is no longer the case. And he's saying that XRP is only going to do a 2.5x max in this run. I think they're both totally wrong. And I think once the ETFs get approved, I think that's going to solidify us flipping Ethereum. And once XRP flips Ethereum, then we'll start talking about it flipping Bitcoin. I think this is the run where it actually happens. Digital Asset Investor says, you can throw these phases in the trash once all of Bitcoin and Ethereum's advantages they've had are gone. They've had fake regulatory clarity, which gave them both futures and ETFs all by themselves, while at the same time being treated as media darlings for the last decade. The Clarity Act will be the final nail in the coffin of this fake market charade once and for all. The free market still isn't here, but it's coming. And I agree with that. Regulations are going to be a major game changer. But if you couple regulations with the ETFs going live and institutional adoption happening at the same time, we are coming for the #1 spot. XRP can flip Bitcoin in this cycle. And then you'll no longer see phase 1 Bitcoin, phase 2 Ethereum. We'll be talking about the phase of utility, and we'll be seeing utility runs. And I think the utility run is going to last for a very long time. Things are about to change, and it all starts with regulatory clarity. I love to see how ignorant and impatient people sell their XRP for Link. This makes me completely bullish. This is a clear sign that retail is tired and has no more patience. Don't be fooled. Link will never fulfill the role of XRP. The two have different purposes. Remember, Link's Oracle network is critical for data integration and smart contract execution. It's middleware. XRP is settlement infrastructure. It moves value across borders and ledger systems at institutional scale. One is the Intel feed, Link. The other is the Spec Ops Delivery Unit, XRP. Selling settlement rails for middleware is like trading your fleet of C-17s for a weather station. Both important, but not interchangeable. Retail impatience has historically been the final fuel before strategic ignition. I think we're getting very close. When people start selling their XRP for Link because they have no idea what they're holding, you know it's almost go time for XRP. But I hold Link myself. And honestly, the one thing that worries me the most about Link is the fact that it's too tied to Swift at a time where Ripple's already stealing business away from Swift. There's banks that already moved past Swift and they're utilizing RippleNet instead. And I'm expecting that to continue. More and more business going over to Ripple, leaving Swift. So where does that leave Chainlink? I think Ripple is what's going to save Chainlink in the end. Ripple's XRP cannot replace Swift. Expert says this crypto is a better fit. And of course, here comes the articles to push the narrative. They're saying Chainlink's the future and XRP is going to be killed by Link. It's like, come on. I mean, you really got to do research before you write a whole article about this nonsense. Know what you hold when you hold XRP. It's a settlement system. It delivers on-demand liquidity. It's going to move anything of value on a daily basis. It cannot be a cheap cryptocurrency when it's moving value all day long. This is me being reasonable. This comes from Chad Steingraber. XRP right now to be number 2 and flip Ethereum, $9.45. To flip Bitcoin, $40.95. Now you start to factor in the market cap multiplier. Remember, I said it doesn't take a lot of money to move the price of XRP because of the market cap multiplier. What's about to happen? Those XRP spot ETFs are going to get approved. Once that happens, the money that's going to pour into them is going to be astonishing. It is going to be in the billions. The price of XRP is going to rise very fast. People out there parking their money in meme coins thinking that XRP always moves last, they are going to end up regretting that in the end. This comes from X Finance Bull. Bitcoin maxis are shaking. They're spreading FUD while XRP has been racking up wins. These releases fuel ODL partners, institutional incentives, and strategic deals. Perfectly aligned with Ripple's latest partnerships. And you see Rajat, who's a Bitcoin maxi. They want you to buy XRP while they sell it. Ripple releases 1 billion XRP from escrow. That happens every single month. And what happens shortly after? Ripple ends up locking back 700 million XRP. Where does the rest go? ODL partners, strategic acquisitions like we just saw with Rail. Ripple, everything that they do brings more utility to XRP over time, brings more value to XRP over time. And the Bitcoin maxis don't understand that yet. They're about to realize that their precious Bitcoin is on the road to irrelevance. At some point, people are going to be holding Bitcoin like a collector's item. It's not going to have the value that it has today. because the cycle is going to change forever. What they're not telling you is the altcoin flows will surpass Bitcoin flows soon. Then Bitcoin becomes an altcoin. Utility is coming. And even the mainstream media news, they're always keeping up the narrative, keeping up the belief system. Fox Business says trillions of dollars could flow into Bitcoin as major banks prepare to allow trading. Again, with the banks, most likely they're going to try to give Bitcoin the first mover advantage there as well. And I don't think it's going to succeed with the banks, though. The banks, when they find something that delivers on-demand liquidity and unlocks those Nostro-Vostro accounts, they're going to go with that instead, because then they could pull back all that money, and now the bank is no longer facing a liquidity crisis. Now the bank has money they can loan out for mortgages. They could loan out for car payments, things like that. It would put the banks in much better position if they started utilizing XRP. But they're going to try to push Bitcoin onto the banks. Wait and see. XRP price could reach $212 if it replicates only 10% of its 2017 bull run. So think about it like this. In 2017, what did XRP have going for it? Really nothing. I mean, back then, everything took vision to see where we would be today. Back then, there was talk about a new financial system, but it was years away. Most people predicted it to happen in like 2040 or 2035, but now it's coming together today. Also, back in 2017, people were thinking XRP is never going to break above a quarter. What are they saying now? XRP is never going above 3 digits. Could XRP reach $212? Absolutely. There's a lot more happening around XRP this time around, especially when you compare it to 2017. No one talks about the 2021 run, because in 2021, XRP was off the major exchanges. It also, the Rippleverse SEC case was brand new back then, and yet XRP still went to $1.92. Think about that. It never left the top 10, even with the Rippleverse SEC case, even after being delisted on every single major exchange except Uphold, and I think there was like 2 others. But look at where we are right now. If you don't think XRP could make it to $212, you're absolutely wrong. What if we do what happened back in 2017? What if XRP does an even bigger run? We don't know what's going to happen. It's still too early to call is what I'm saying. But anybody that doubts XRP will always get proven wrong in the end. XRP price could reach $26 if XRP ETFs pull in $5 billion in the first month. So what do you think the chances of that happening are? Look at all the demand for XRP already. I still think it's going to do a 4x of whatever the Bitcoin ETFs did. I think a lot of the money is going to flow into these ETFs because it has a better return on investment. It actually has a use case. It actually will be utilized in the real world because it's already being utilized in some areas of the world already. I think people are underestimating XRP, and I think they're going to soon regret it. But let's see where we go from here. Like I said, XRP right now, it's still sitting here at $3.23. I'm just waiting for the next move up. I want to see XRP break through $3.65. I think then we will go above $4 very quick. I think it's going to happen by the end of August. Then we start talking about the September rate cuts. And who knows, September might be a very big month. We might even have ETFs going live by then. I still think double digits by October. Let's see what happens. And until it does happen, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.